Welcome to Truth Unveiled by Doxa. Today, we unveil a powerful story about misunderstanding, judgment, and a lesson that changed everything. Watch till the end and discover why we should be careful how we judge others. In the prosperous city of Hill Land, there ruled a wealthy, wise, and powerful king named Salem. Under his authority worked two diligent servants, Kindness and Beauty, who were known throughout the kingdom for their dedication and excellence. Whenever the king assigned a task, both servants carried it out faithfully and accurately. One day, a matter of great urgency arose on the king's farmland. The success of an important project depended on swift cooperation between the two servants. Seeing the urgency of the situation, Kindness approached Beauty and pleaded for her assistance. His voice carried the weight of concern because time was running out. However, instead of focusing on the message, Beauty focused on the manner in which the message was delivered. She felt offended and accused Kindness of shouting at her. Without seeking clarification, she reported the matter to King Salem. When the king heard the complaint, he summoned Kindness. Though Kindness tried to explain that he had only been emphasizing the urgency of the work, the king instructed him to reconcile with Beauty for the sake of peace. Out of respect for the king, Kindness apologized and made peace, but deep within him he was wounded. He kept asking himself, how did a sincere attempt to communicate an urgent need become an accusation of hostility? The day passed, and evening came. Then something unexpected happened. Beauty herself became the victim of a similar misunderstanding. While carrying out her duties, she acted with good intentions, but another servant interpreted her actions negatively. Words were twisted. Motives were questioned. Her character was judged unfairly. Suddenly, Beauty found herself standing where Kindness had stood earlier. She cried out in frustration. "That is not what I meant. You misunderstood me. You judged me without hearing my side." She lamented bitterly because she knew she was innocent. Nearby sat Kindness. He listened quietly as Beauty poured out her pain. Every complaint she made echoed the very pain she had caused him earlier that day. For a moment, he considered speaking. For a moment, he wanted to say, "Now you understand how I felt." But he remained silent. As Beauty continued to suffer under the weight of misunderstanding, a powerful truth unfolded before both of them. The pain we easily inflict on others often becomes unbearable when it returns to us. That night, Beauty learned a lesson that no lecture could teach. She discovered that misunderstanding is a burden that feels light when carried by others but heavy when carried by ourselves. Lessons for Society 1. We should be slow to judge people's intentions. Many conflicts in families, churches, workplaces, and communities begin because people assume motives instead of seeking clarification. A raised voice may not always be anger, sometimes it is urgency. Silence may not always be pride, sometimes it is pain. Before condemning others, wisdom demands that we ask questions. 2. Empathy is often learned through experience. Beauty could not understand Kindness's pain until she experienced the same pain herself. Many people are harsh because they have never stood in another person's shoes. A society becomes healthier when people learn to imagine how their actions affect others before acting. 3. Misunderstanding destroys relationships. A single misinterpretation almost damaged the working relationship between two faithful servants. Likewise, many friendships, marriages, church fellowships, and organizations have collapsed because people preferred assumptions over communication. For what we sow returns to us. Though Beauty did not intentionally harm Kindness, she failed to extend the understanding she later desired for herself. Life often places us in the same situations we once judged from a distance. The measure of understanding we give to others may one day become the measure we desperately need. 5. True wisdom requires listening before speaking. Many people hear words but never hear hearts. They listen to tones but ignore intentions. Kingdoms, communities, and nations are preserved when people listen carefully before reaching conclusions. 6. Mercy is greater than vindication. The most remarkable character in the story is not Beauty but Kindness. When the opportunity came to mock beauty's suffering, he remained silent. He chose reflection over revenge. He chose understanding over humiliation. Many societal conflicts would disappear if people sought restoration rather than vindication. Reflection for contemporary society. The story of kindness and beauty is the story of our society. Citizens misunderstand one another. Ethnic groups misunderstand one another. Religious groups misunderstand one another. Politicians misunderstand the people, and the people misunderstand one another's struggles. Social media has amplified this problem. People judge a sentence without hearing the full conversation. They condemn a person without knowing the full story. They destroy reputations based on assumptions. Yet everyone desires fairness when they become the accused. The tragedy of society is that many people demand understanding for themselves while refusing to extend it to others. The lesson of Hill Land is simple but profound. Before condemning another person for what you think they meant, remember that one day you may stand in the very place where they stand now, desperately hoping that someone will understand you rather than judge you. Thank you for watching Truth Unveiled by Doxa. Remember, the understanding you deny others today may be the understanding you desperately need tomorrow. If this story touched your heart, like, share, subscribe, and join us again as we continue unveiling truth through powerful stories.